the engagement with my son's dad, I invited all 4 of the guys I was talking to my housewarming party. Now, why did I do this? You might be wondering. Because I felt like it. I'll be completely honest, you guys. I can keep it a buck. I did not forewarn them. I wasn't like, hey, I'm inviting you and I'm also inviting the other.
Let her go on. This is dangerous. We're in a new day. This is dangerous.
Wait.
Just cat. Welcome back. Motivation Nation is your host, Harry Gordon. Hey, listen, got a video sent in today. Request our opinion. But from what I've been told, from what this lady is about to tell us, this type of stuff can get somebody hurt. Probably wouldn't advise anybody to do this, but I don't know. That's just what I've been told. So let's jump into this and see exactly what's going on, and we're going to give our opinion. So, with no further ado, let's get into this content and hit that subscribe button too.
I was newly single after ending the engagement with my son's dad. I invited all 4 of the guys I was talking to my housewarming party. Now, why did I do this? You might be wondering. Because I felt like it. I had been in a relationship for 5 years and I was just having my way. And I was like, why not? I'm talking to these guys. Let me just invite them all, because if I don't invite one of them, they're going to feel some type of way about it. So, whatever.
Brother Bo!
Well, that's just too much there. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at him. Oh, no.
Let her go on. This is dangerous. We're in a new day. This is dangerous.
Belong to anyone. I am single, so they can all go. Quick rundown on who the guys were. We'll call them A. A was this really, really fine guy. Oh my gosh, you guys, he looked so good. He's from, let's just call it North Africa, so he kind of has that type of look to him. He didn't speak English as a first language, but it just made him hotter, honestly. He was younger than me, and I had met him through a friend of a friend. There was another guy, we'll call him CH. I met him because our kids went to the same daycare, so we would both, drop our kids off, and then we would see each other sometimes, and that's kind of how we got connected. So that's CH. And he was a little bit older than me. He was kind of a gym bro. The next guy, we'll call him C. And this is just so that I can remember who's who. I met him on a dating app. He was a couple years older than me. He also was a gym bro. He was tall. He was fine. I'm not gonna lie. He was the one that I was talking to the most seriously out of the guys. And the last guy we'll call D. He was also younger than me. I met him at the gym. I had finished a workout. I was going out to my car and he ran after me and, did the whole, I just had to say something to you, da da da. So that's how I met him. And my best friend was in town. So I did a really, really cute setup. And I did also invite some girlfriends. The hairstylist that I was going to regularly at this time was invited. She brought her close friend, who I actually ended up becoming really close friends with. And I'd also invited this girl that I was hanging out with at that time. Oh my God, I can make an entire separate story about this girl. But for now, let's just say that she was there. Okay, very, very interesting girly pop. And yeah, my best friend, and I think there might have been 2 or so other people there. Of course, my best friend knew everything that was going on, so she was able to kind of help me manage all of the personalities and everything that was going on. Ooh, not me completely forgetting about one. Oh my gosh, there was this other guy, and I just remembered because he was the first person who showed up. We'll call him R. R was one of my sales consultants when I was a shopping addict, and I used to be at the mall all of the time, the fancy mall. He worked at one of the designer stores as a salesperson. One day when I was in there, he asked me for my number and we had kind of started to talk a little bit, but we hadn't been on any dates or anything. We were just kind of texting and connected on IG. He was really cool. Honestly, he was the only one that acted super normally on this night. And I'll be completely honest, you guys, I can keep it a buck. I did not forewarn them. I wasn't like, hey, I'm inviting you and I'm also inviting the other guys that I'm talking to.
Okay, I'm trying to let the story build so that we can get some context, but I'm going to have to stop it right there. You don't play a game like this with invite 4 different men, 5 different men. I've lost count on how many men. She lost count, so of course I've lost count on how many men that you're dating, and you invite them all to your housewarming party together. And she thinks that this is funny to see how this goes. I mean, I just don't understand the logic. Well, it ain't no logic. This is illogical and it's dangerous. And if I had a daughter, my advice to her would be, don't do that. What game are you trying to play? Fine, you want to date multiple people. I understand that as you're getting to know different people to see who you may like or who you may not like based on what your criteria is and what your standards are, but to put them all in the same room, I guess this is so that they can compete for your love. This is childish and juvenile, and I understand now why you're divorced. Makes perfect sense to me. because you play childish games and you're selfish. And you could get somebody hurt doing this. But anyway, because you don't know the temperament of any one of these individuals, especially if one is catching feelings for you and you bring around another guy and he's not aware of it and he doesn't know anything about this other guy and he thinks that you guys are dating exclusively. But anyway, let's let her continue. I just wanted to stop right there because we got to stop the madness. You watch the news all the time and you can't understand how things happen. Well, this is how things happen.
I didn't give them that context, but I didn't think that I had to. It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. So I was like, whatever. It's gonna be a fun
It's not
time.
cool
So
when anybody
everybody gets
does that.
there. We are eating some of the food that I prepared. Me and my best friend. We start playing some board games. We're drinking. We're playing card games. Everyone's having a ball. You know, men, they're not that smart, so they weren't like fully clocking it, but there were some moments where I was like, okay, they're definitely onto me. So remember how I said CH, which is the guy that is kind of like a gym guy, and he's tall, he's fine, whatever. And so I remember that I was kind of drunk, not like drunk, but drunk enough to where I was like, woo. I decide that I'm gonna go to the bathroom. As I'm like coming out of the bathroom, he kind of like, I don't want to say corners me. It's not like I felt afraid or uncomfortable or anything, but he kind of like pulls me to the side and he's like, what's going on? And I was just like, what do you mean? He's basically saying it without saying it, like, who are out here? And I'm just like, these are just people that I'm cool with. I wanted everyone to be able to like come and have a good time. And obviously I've been in a relationship since I've lived in Vegas.
See, and that's the problem here. You're a liar. That's number one, right? Okay, it's one thing if you want to if you want to do it the real way, the way that you're supposed to do it, you let everybody up front know what's going on, right? So if you're dating multiple people, you tell them, yo, listen, I'm not gonna be exclusive to nobody. I'm dating other people of blase squaze, right? That's the real way to do it. That's the real player way to do it. And when you have the housewarming party, you say, yo, look, I told you before, I'm not dating exclusively. I'm dating multiple people. I'm gonna have everybody I'm dating over there. I just want to give you a heads up. That's how you really do it if you're trying to be a player. But if you are lying, you being sneaky, this is the way to go about it. And then you want to say that people are dumb. Well, it's not that they're dumb. Nobody thinks that you would be dumb enough to invite all of the people you're dating over there to your housewarming and have them all in the same room, like you're putting 4 or 5 lions in one cage and let's see what happens when they figure this out. That's just dumb. That's just stupidity at its finest. And that ain't player if that's what you're trying to be, because that ain't how a real player act. That's not what a real player does. A real player lets you know what it is and you make the decision from there. That's what a player do. But anyway, let me let her go home because this is nonsensical.
So I don't know a lot of people. These are, you know, the people that I know and that I'm comfortable enough to have them come to my house. He was like kind of trying to clock me, but it's like, you can't clock me. You're not my man. I don't really know what his full intent was, but you could tell he was definitely pressed. I'm just like, well, you know, I get it. If you feel uncomfortable, you know, like I wouldn't be upset with you if you decided you didn't want to be here. And I think me basically telling him, like, if you don't like it, you can go. He felt some type of way about it even more. So I think he was expecting for me to be like, oh, I can tell them to leave. But it's like, nah, brother. If you're uncomfy, you can go. You can go. I really did not care. And honestly, sometimes I miss the amount of patience that I used to have and the way that I would be able to talk to multiple guys at one time.
And this is low self-esteem guy. Once that guy figured out what was going on and then she talked to him that way, that's a gut check. He should have gotten up out of there. You're not gonna disrespect me like that and think that we can carry on past this day. Like once he figured that out, that should have been the end of that conversation with her forever. Because she's showing you the type of person that she is. Once they show you who they are, you either accept it or you don't. Well, in this case, he accepted it, but that's not something that you should accept from somebody. Not at all. That's that's low self-esteem for guy number one that just figured this out to stick around. Shame on him.
My patience is so incredibly low. I can't imagine doing that at this stage in life. Like, I just would not care enough to put myself in a situation like this. But at that time, it was all fun and games. So it's getting later, and we decide that we're going to go out. And we're just trying to figure out where we should go because it's like pretty late at night at this point. I was like, let's go to the strip club. I love me a strip club, okay? The Vegas one's not that great because I used to live in Atlanta. I've been in Miami at the strip club. So the ones in Vegas, very underwhelming. However, comments, just like it's for the fun of it all. You know what I mean? CH, the one that had tried to press me, he wasn't a promoter as his job. He was like kind of doing it on the side of what he did as his job. He had a connect at the strip club and he's like, okay, I can like get us in for free or whatever. So
how can all of these guys sit here and be up underneath one another? And now she makes a recommendation. Hey guys, let's all of us go to the strip club. I don't know. This story just ain't making no sense to me. I don't know. Maybe I feel like sometimes I feel like Demolition Man when he went into the crowd prison and he woke up and he went back out into society, and everything was completely different than what he remembered. Like nothing makes any sense. That's pretty much how I feel here. What she's saying makes no sense to me. I don't even know how you pull this off and how we go to step 2. But anyway, let's let her continue. I don't know. Y'all let me know down in the comments. Does this make sense to y'all? Because it don't make no sense to me.
We all figure out how we're gonna get there. Some people drove, and I ended up riding with A. A is the one who was from another country. If I am kind of comparing looks wise, who looked the best out of all of them, A was definitely the most handsome. Like hands down, face card never declined. CH probably had the best body. He was pretty like well rounded. He was like kind of in the middle, and then D was. He was cute, but like younger. You know what I mean? Like cute, but not like sexy, if you get what I'm saying. So anyway, of course, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go with A. And we're riding on the way there. He's just so oblivious and just like the sweetest guy. So we're talking and he's like holding my hand as we're on the way there. We're kind of like flirting and all that good stuff. So we end up getting to the strip club. We're walking and then CH like kind of like puts his arm around me, acting territorial. It's like, child, why are you doing this? Like you really can just chill, like just vibe. You know what I mean? So we end up going inside.
He's doing this because he thinks that you guys are dating and he doesn't know who these other guys are. Well, he should have picked up on it by now. I don't understand how if any one of these guys think that you're dating them, how could they sit there and let you jump in the car with another man? I don't know what's going on here. We're just gonna listen. We're just gonna let her listen, and we're just gonna let her talk. We're gonna listen, then we'll talk about this at the end.
Some people get some cash, some people get some ones. We get like our own little booth and we're all just drunk, girl, and still drinking some more. So we're having a good time. We're like throwing money on the dancers and all that good stuff. I end up going to the bathroom. While I'm on my way to the bathroom, D ends up coming over there as well. He was just like, how are you? What's good with you? And he's like kind of close to me. So it looks like we're kind of having a really intimate conversation, even though it's really not that serious. And as we're doing that, CH comes up and presses me again. He sees what's going on. He gives us a minute to like talk and all that stuff. And then he approaches us and he's just like, what's up? What's going on? Like, y'all good? Y'all good? He tries to make it light because he has that kind of a personality. He really is the life of the party. And we're both like, yeah, we're cool. And him and D had kind of hit it off a little bit, like big bro, little bro type of vibe. And I was just like, oh, brother. So I end up leaving and going back. We kind of wrap up the rest of the night. And it was just so entertaining for me personally. At that time, I was just having fun. I've been in a relationship for such a long time. And I was just like, who cares? I'm single. I can do whatever I want. And I highly, highly encourage any of you ladies who are dating to literally allow the men to show you who they are. You don't owe loyalty to any specific man when you're single. That is something that they earn through building trust, through impressing you, through courting you. That's when you're theirs, and that's when you owe them something. And even then, do you owe them anything? I mean, seriously. But before then, you don't owe them anything, okay? Live your best life. The summer is coming, girls. I mean, what are we, April? I don't know why I randomly thought of this story, but I was like, I have to tell the girls. And you guys, there's so much more to CH and everything that went down with him. Honestly, each of these guys could be their own separate story time, but that was that girl.
Yeah, no, I would advise you guys not to do that if you care about your safety, because every story is not going to end like this. If this, in fact, is a true story, because none of this is healthy and none of this makes sense, and it makes you look like a scumbag if you're a woman, and it's going to make it where any respectable man that's in that situation with you ain't going to respect you from that day forward. So any of those individuals with any level of self-respect, anybody with any self-respect, if they dealt with you past that day, you would get treated a certain type of a way. And that type of a way wouldn't be as a respectable woman. And so I'll let you guys use your imagination as you move forward with what I just said and you think about that. But this is not the type of a person that's respectable. This ain't the type of person that you want to be around. And I understand she's saying that this is something that she did in the past, but the fact that she's saying that this is something that she's advising people that this is something that they should do, that means that this is still her mindset. She hasn't changed anything in her life and in the way that she thinks. And that type of thinking is dangerous. That type of thinking puts you and everyone else in a bad situation. Like she said, she did that. It was personally entertaining for her. Putting all of those lions in a cage to see how they react to one another. That was personal entertainment for her until it's not entertainment and it goes in a different direction. And then she's going to play victim and say, I don't understand what happened because I'm not singularly dating anybody. So I don't owe them anything. Actually you do. You actually do. You owe them honesty. If you're dating someone and you're trying to be serious with them, and even if you're not trying to be serious with them, you at least owe them honesty. But no, you're using these 4 guys for whatever it is that each one of those guys provide for you individually. And that's what the problem is. You're concerned about what they can give you individually because you're selfish. And now you're putting them in a bad situation, and then you're putting yourself in a bad situation because you don't know what someone is thinking, and you don't know how someone feels after they've been done that way. And then you don't want someone to act. It's already dangerous enough out here. You don't want to entice somebody to act in a specific way that could put you and you got a child in harm. And they know where you live. This is just grossly negligent. It's grossly irresponsible. And I would advise no one to do this unless everyone understands what it is. I could respect it if you told them, yo, look, I'm dating multiple guys. I'm trying to see which one of you guys are going to lead the pack. So you can either be with me or not. But this is what I'm doing. I'm having a housewarming, and all of the guys, all you guys that I'm dating, I'm having you all come over and you guys can compete for my love in my apartment or my house or whatever the case is. That's more respectable because then the guys get to make a choice. Now they don't know what's going on. And you're saying they gotta compete for your look. What do you think this is? The Bachelorette? Like, come on. I understand. Hey, you gotta put the filler out there. You gotta date multiple people. You gotta see. That's fine, but be honest. Be upfront and honest. That's all I'm saying. But look, guys, I've talked enough. It's on you now. Jump down in the comments. Let me know you guys has thought about this because this is bananas, if you ask me. So that's it for this video. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out.